Oi. Yeah, this is freaky, dude. This is super freaky. It is very freaky.
Ulf, the mastermind behind the game we're working on, the man with the plan. I haven't worked with someone that uses less words and more sounds when you're describing something. I mean, it could be timings like...
Yeah. This is David. David is an art director, and you have the coolest glasses. I'm an art director now.
My name is Anders Svärd. I'm the previous director at 10 Chambers. Previously, I've been working on PAYDAY franchise and GTFO and now Den of Wolves, and I've been into a lot of character art.
I am Mattias Högvall, and I am the art production director at 10 Chambers. Yeah, that's what I do. No, the masks thing is very uniquely an Ulf Andersson decision, and it works for us really well.
Masks are, it's sort of a nice expression for a player. Production-wise, it might take a lot of time to make a character, but you can make a lot of masks. But it also sort of belongs into that heist thematic, I think. And I also like the idea of like, as a symbol for escapism, that is very attractive to a lot of people wanting to escape from their like personalities or whatever they're facing, you know. Yeah, and I like masks.
You put on a mask and you cannot live this other character's life, and you can do this weird stuff. It's a nice thing for the player to put on and just be someone else for a time.
Be someone else while you're playing someone else. Yeah. It's a duality.
I think choices like that always comes from like multiple directions. I think Heat is one of them, and then the intro sequence to Dark Knight, right? The constant challenge for me, at least, is reinventing something. It's been done so much.
It's quite easy to come up with, you know, unique and cool masks, but it's also going to look like a lottery kind of thing. You know, you're playing the slot machine, right? And okay, cool. This is a cool mask, right?
And suddenly you have like the funny masks, you know, the burning masks and the lava demon.
But then it's just going to be a game with cool masks. So for me, it's really about being grumpy, I would say. and
isn't that how we solve everything?
No, but it's really about, you know, does it feel right? As long as we feel that this belongs in our universe, aesthetically and theme-wise, like, is it in the same universe or not? That comes with, you know, the grumpiness, I would say.
I did not work on PAYDAY. You worked on PAYDAY.
I worked on PAYDAY, yes.
Yeah.
No, that was my kind of industry opening, so that was my first game, PAYDAY, the Heist. I remember Ulf, he was approaching me like, I have this weird idea of nasty clowns. You know, those type of clown faces that make you dream, wet your bed, basically.
If you just make a clown, then it's just a clown, you know. You gotta tweak it to an extent where it sort of symbolizes a clown, I think, and then use the tools we've agreed on using to get there.
You know, it all begins with Ulf and his fingertip feel of what direction we're going to. But that's it with Ulf. When he kind of has that, oh, I have this, his fingertips starts to kind of give out some, I don't know, stardust or something like that.
That sounds fucking magical.
Yeah.
Just one day, just fucking one-shotting it.
A good example of the process would be for GTFO. I was shown a file from Mattias. I think he showed me like 200 masks.
It took a long time getting to the point where we were like happy with the last batch that went out. Yeah, 200 prototypes, different designs, different shapes, all that stuff down the toilet before we found our kind of niche where we wanted to go.
But it's so hard to get to that point, find that unique thing that's gonna make people react, you know, the front facing. And after that point, if you can keep the same style and make more things, I seldomly have almost no feedback. So to get to the 4 GTFO masks, the 4 original ones, but he's happy about it. I mean, they're cool as fuck.
That was a fun year, fucking great, but we got it.
You try to, you know, create all these things, and you fail and you fail and you fail, and then all of a sudden it clicks. It's like, okay, so this is the shit that we're making.
Like Ulf is happy. Great. I mean, that was a big moment for me and my family.
My favorite, for sure, is the one that you've done, one of the hero masks of GTFO. This is so cool. Like, you have the skull nose here. You also have, like, this is basically the grenade in the mouth.
Yes.
In Den of Wolves.
I mean, for Masks in Den of Wolves, we discard a lot of work constantly. So we're just very picky. The grumpiness, you know.
No, but it's necessarily. Otherwise, we would end up in, you know, a situation where we have thousands of masks and this is, you know, whatever.
Sometimes you strike gold, you know, and you find a thing that's like, oh, it's so cool.
Okay, this is the first masks from Den of Wolves that people will see, what actually represents, you know, on an emotional state, but also, you know, you have some tech, you know, things that you could probably expect in a game. Iconic in that sense.
It's something very different. More gag balls, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like in the same way, like GTFO masks look horrible to wear, like uncomfortable. I don't think he's afraid of leaning into those kind of emotions of uncomfortability. It doesn't need to look like a ninja tactical thing. It looks like these guys are here just to survive in that way, in GTFO at least. And they're using whatever gear they have just to be able to breathe. I guess that's some kind of kinky fetish that he got going on. I'm not going to dig too much into that.
This mask, this specific mask, one of the most disturbing things about it is that it is a face, but it has like weird proportions. Because it's annoying to look at something that doesn't, you know, it's not what you expect it to be. By looking at something that you should recognize, but it's a bit off.
Yeah, what are they called? Like it's Japanese theater masks, like dragon masks thrown together with Hannibal Lecter, basically. So.
Or is it a hockey thing, or what is it, you know?
And we want to tweak it a bit to make it even more, you know, disturbing and annoying.
So you sort of start to drift into references, in and out of references. This is also a nice detail. You see there's like technology here. It sort of looks like a strap, so it's sort of a gag ball reference in there.
I had a discussion with Ulf about Keira Knightley, actually. She has this perfect kind of lip pout. It's a very sexy thing, so we kind of actually tried to nail those lips on the masks. It's a bit of, you know, feminine in the masks.
It's not super macho masculine.
When it starts to lean toward a little bit sexy, that can be very weird and disturbing as well.
One of the challenges is always to add something new and try to be creative about it and sort of step out of that safe zone, because in reality safe zones are usually full of good stuff. You don't want to compete with that. You gotta sort of go sideways sometimes.
The sci-fi add-on is great for not having to be realistic all the time and, you know, have explanation behind all the stuff, because then it becomes quite boring. It doesn't really matter. If it's cool, it's cool.
We try to avoid putting like gameplay meta on stuff, because then you suddenly make a choice based on, oh, this level is so hard, I have to switch to this other mask. It's a bit contradiction to what you want from that kind of thing. Expanding on what a mask can be in a creative way. Can we communicate like voice lines through a mask without moving it, as an example, or can we communicate your health or your, you know, status somehow?
I think for Den of Wolves, we are appealing to a broader spectrum, because it is a bigger game. We have more resources now to explore more styles that will fit you as a player. Like in GTFO, if you didn't like a metal mask, you're pretty much fucked on that point, right? Because they're all hardcore in a way. Whereas in Den of Wolf, there's a way broader spectrum of what we can do. We can do sci-fi hardcore, we could do more rubbery, or we could do leather, we could do more preferences to what the player wants and your team wants, and I think that's really cool.
You can jump around in different styles and different materials and shapes, so you have a lot to explore with Mask in Den of Wolves.
Materials in general, I think one of our things is like trying to do modern things with old materials sometimes. So it's a bit like going back to being a human in a way.
Also adds up to a very interesting contrast, because whenever you throw that sci-fi magic dust on top of something that you're very well aware of, it becomes extremely interesting, instead of being, you know, another generic sci-fi table.
Yeah, and who wants to live in a like sleek metal suitcase?
No,
like,
exactly.
In this future of where Den of Wolves is set in, you know, what type of materials and technology can we use there? So there's a lot of new discoveries that we make, like how will that affect how the mask looks like? But also, we want to have these kind of homemade style of masks, like the crew of 4 might have been in a dungeon somewhere, you know, gluing stuff together and making these weird style of masks.
The one thing that stuck from the first Den of Wolves trailer that we done in-house that was never released, I think some people, we show it in-house, is the long nose. The profile of the long nose. Yeah. That nose is still in there.
Yeah, it still lives on.
Yeah.
all of us are stealing from the same source. It's those old cyberpunk books in a way, right? Or like techno-thriller stuff.
we're not looking at, okay, let's make this city. It's a pieces of a bunch of different references.
I'm sure we have a lot of overlap. It's so ingrained into society in a way. That's the beauty of like creation. You keep adding and adding and adding, Nothing is new really. It's just how it feels, I guess. There's so many like Akira references, and
yes.
Cyberpunk and Blade Runner and Alien, and I think I have a Running Man reference. Like and you go, oh wow, we could make something like that. It's what humans do all the time.
I guess I do understand the reference point to Cyberpunk, but it's probably more about the unexpected elements rather than the aesthetic style.
But the initial thematic is so important for the id of the game, you could say. Like
finding something that is Den of Wolves without, write it on the forehead. This is probably Den of Wolves because of the combinations of weird stuff.
That's the dream, right? Make something that people will enjoy or... Like that's why we create shit in the first place, right? So
We need the game as well.
Oh yeah. Shit. The game, yeah.
Do you have time today to work on the game?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.